Now on to other stories in your health. Summer is the prime time for vacation, spending lots of time outdoors, but in emergency rooms across the country and here in KC. This 3-month period that follows spring is often called trauma season. More people get hurt during this time of year. So today we have Dr. Mark Leeser, Trauma Medical Director of Research Medical Center, with us to talk about some of the most common summer accidents or the most common reasons you see people during this time. What are those things?
Summertime almost doubles the number of accidents that we see in kids. They're outside, they're playing baseball.
More time to do it.
They're on their bicycles, they're on their skateboards. They're fun activities, but they're just a setup for injuries. And it's not just the kids, even adult injuries go up by about 25% in the summer. Those are a little bit different. They get burned while they're barbecuing or grilling. They're riding motorcycles, they're outdoors doing repair work, they're up on ladders and they fall. So we just need people to have fun, but show a little bit of common sense and take some precautions so they don't wind up in the emergency room.
What happens with more time and better weather, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what about, you mentioned a few things here, but what about swimming pools and lakes and things you see surrounding those?
Swimming pools are a big hazard for little kids. That's where we see most of the drownings. It doesn't take more than a couple of seconds of turning your head away from a kid to have something bad happen.
Either.
Doesn't take much, just a few inches of water a little kid can drown in. For teenagers and older adults, those injuries we see more on lakes, falling off a watercraft, those sort of accidents. And again, we just kind of want people to take it a little bit slowly, and the rule that applies to almost everything in the summer is that alcohol and driving any kind of watercraft just doesn't mix.
You touched on it briefly, but let's talk about things more on land, so the ATV, bike accidents, things like that.
ATVs can be pretty nasty. Most of the time we see people roll over. They're not wearing protective gear. You can see some pretty nasty injuries. We also see motorbike injuries from people going too fast, trying to lose control on gravel. They try to jump over things. The biggest way to prevent injuries on any kind of motorized vehicle is wearing a helmet.
Yeah, gotta always wear that helmet. And lastly, just talking about something you mentioned off the air is texting.
Texting,
an increasing problem.
Texting is the drunk driving of our era. It's almost worse. We were talking earlier, literally before I left the hospital to come here to the studio, a teenager literally walked right into my face because she wasn't looking where she was going while she was texting while getting off an elevator. Imagine doing that while you're driving. They say that texting distracts you as much as driving drunk, and motor vehicle collisions is the most common cause of death in teenagers.
Dr. Leeser, thank you for stopping
You're
by.
welcome.
Let's hopefully, knock on wood, have a good season this summer. For more from HCA Midwest Health, go to kctv5.com, click on the Health tab.